A skip is a British term for dumpster. They're basically just big metal boxes for waste. It is where I live full time. I know there's some people that think, oh, you must have a house down the road. I mean, I wish I did. It's both where I live and an art project, and it was a way in which I could kind of do both and use my living situation almost as a protest about the rising cost of living, rental crisis, and how absurd the situation has become. Come on in. I'm Harrison, I'm 28 years old. I am a designer. I'm currently living in a skip or dumpster in central London. Looking for a place in London is a nightmare, and it's just insane how the prices just keep creeping up higher and higher and higher. And that's when I started to think, you know, is there a different way to find a kind of solution for myself and think a little bit more outside the box. And I'd done a couple of projects with dumpsters before, and each time we've done one of these projects, I've thought, oh, you know, maybe is this space big enough to actually live in, almost as a joke, and ultimately decided that yes, it could be an option worth exploring. I designed it and put together a proposal document which I was sending out to different organisations. One of the organisations I reached out to is called Anti-Pavilion. It's an arts-based charity, and they had access to this site and were the ones who gave me permission to use it, and doing so free of charge as well. I actually got quite lucky with the location. From here I can cycle 15 minutes to work and, you know, avoid the dreaded commute that so many people face. The project cost me about £4,000, which covers all the materials and furnishings inside, so my mattress, storage, etc. It took about 3 weeks of solid construction to build. I built it all myself, and I had friends helping, you know, throughout that time.
How's it going, Hammy?
And the skip company were very much supportive and decided to give us the skip for the duration of the project for £50 a month, but they've actually not charged me for that yet. So the only big cost was the transport, which was about £200 to drop the skip off, and then another £200 to transport the whole house to where it is now. So it's pretty much all timber frame. The outside is clad with cedar shingles, so that keeps it pretty watertight. The roofing is made from plastic and aluminium recycled. And the interior is all clad just in your standard plywood sheets. So this is the entrance. A little bit awkward climb up into the space, but not too bad. Fridge is tiny, almost pointless. Apparently you can have 8 beers in there, small beers maybe. For water, I just refill this every few days. I've got a little tap over towards the end of the site which runs from the neighbour's property. Slightly inconvenient, of course. So this should last me a couple of days, hopefully. Washing up after cooking is actually probably one of the more inconvenient things. So I basically have small Tupperware type washing up bowl, and bring this down. This acts as my tap. Do all the washing up here. Whatever's left, take out and pour down the drain. I don't have a shower. I go to the gym or to work to shower there, which is actually not too bad. I'm at work Monday to Friday anyway, so that's fine. So yeah, this is my cooker. Pretty small, but actually works really, really well. These kind of pre-prepared meals keeps my washing up to a minimum and my food prep to a minimum. All of my clothes storage is pretty much up against this wall. So yeah, bed's up the top, up the little ladder. I've got the curved roof, makes a big, big difference. Gives me that space to sit up, especially when I'm coming up the ladder. I've got a nice little window for ventilation up here. Pretty cozy and quite comfy. So this is my toilet situation, which is Portaloo. Portaloo itself is been provided by the Portaloo company, free of charge. It's not very luxurious, but it does the job. It does have a flush, luckily. But yeah, so that gets changed and emptied every week or so. So that's all sorted. I don't have to deal with that. And yeah, ideal. At the start of the project, I was thinking, you know, maybe a year is a good amount of time. It would be enough of a duration to make my initial investment back plus savings. But really, it's actually fairly comfortable in a weird way. And so the duration isn't fixed. It might be the case that I actually move the whole house to somewhere else in London if the opportunity arises. Before starting this project, I always knew that the housing crisis was a massive issue, but by doing this, I've almost opened up the dialogue between me and strangers about their own situations. So I know I get messages almost every day from people explaining their own difficulties with housing and, you know, their own living situations, even people that walk past here and, you know, ask me about the project.
Well done, it's fantastic what you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to tweet.
And so you start to kind of understand the picture a little bit more and the kind of desperate situation that a lot of people are in. No matter how much I save over the next year or two or three, I'm still so far away from what's actually needed to put a deposit down to own somewhere. And it's made me realise that I can live with these kind of compromises and still live a fairly, you know, happy life.